for joining me again today. My name is Leva Wolf, and this is Wildlife Trek, my franchise series zoo that I am currently working on. Today I am going to start building out the children's zoo. It is not a zoo that's going to exhibit kids, but it's going to have exhibits that kids will like. We're going to have our ring-tailed lemurs, our koalas, also Komodo dragon, and the Aldabra tortoise over here. And it's going to be in this section over here. It'll be a little bit apart from the rest of the zoo, but it's going to be quite a fun build, and it should be some fairly high-draw animals that people are going to want to come in and see. We're going to get quite a few visitors in, which is going to be excellent. So starting out, I'm just going to lay out the main path. Get that rolled out here. And then I'm going to lay out the bases of the 4 main habitats that are going to be out here. We're also going to have a food court in this area. Actually, it's going to be up in this area. We're going to have a playground and a carousel in this area. And from there, I will then start building out the rest of the zoo in a large loop out here. Going to life in the desert will be over here. Life in the plains will be over here. That'll be more of the African section. Moving into life in the forest. Life in the jungle, life in the cold, and then life in the water. I'm going to feature all the new aquatic pack animals in this. It's going to be loads of fun to build this up. So thank you so much for joining me today. Alright, so I had a little bit of a creative block here when it came to the children's zoo. I got some real world references, some better ideas. I'm going to base this mostly off of San Francisco and Oakland. They both have some very nice children's zoo areas. So I'm going to revamp the design a little bit here. I'm going to curve it up this way a little bit more, get away from the absolute edge of the map. So I am going to go into a speed build here, and I will bring you back when I am finished. welcome back to Wildlife Trek. I'm going to go over what I've done here in the speed build. So I've built out this area over here. We've put in the Aldabra giant tortoises. They have been breeding like crazy, so we've got a bunch of babies in here. So the children's zoo is coming along really nicely. I've put in a little pollinator garden here. This is an area where we can walk around. It's well lit. It's very lush, lots of flowers, lots of wildflowers. I tried to go for native North American planting for our bees, our hummingbirds, our butterflies. Wish we had milkweed in this game. We don't have anything that resembles milkweed either. Used the falling leaf, blowing dandelion, falling blossom special effects emitters to kind of hopefully make it seem like this would be full of insects and bees and all sorts of different stuff. May have overdone it just a little bit here. That's alright. I'll think about going in and moving them, spreading them out, maybe removing a few. But the turtles here, they're not turtles, they are tortoises. The tortoises, that's what I meant to say. The Aldabra tortoises are a big hit. We're getting guests coming all the way out here to take a look at them. We've got two main viewing points here. One right here, and then over toward the learner's cabin, we have another one here. Going into the cabin, we'll be building this out in the next episode. Put in our first two exhibit species. We have our Amazonian giant centipede. That's what that is. Amazonian giant centipede is in, and then the diamondback terrapin, our new little aquatic pack exhibit animal. These are quite a big hit. Got a lot of people coming in to take a look at them. I built out this facade cover to hide the ugly black box that the exhibits come in, using the faux trees, the fake concrete trees, and they turned out quite well. I'm really happy with this. Let me go ahead and upload this facade onto the workshop if anyone wants to use it. I think it turned out just great with the hanging flowers, the cataleenia, the orchids, the plumeria. I think it looked quite good. Over here is going to be where the ring-tailed lemurs are going to go. I have a fairly creative, interesting idea for what I want to do for their habitat, and I think I have enough room here to do it. We're actually going to put in a couple of islands surrounded by water and then a raised walkway going through. So it'll be a walk-through habitat. The lemurs will be able to cross over the guest walkway via a rope and climbing system. It's going to be good. So this is the children's zoo coming together. Moving on, once the lemurs are in, we're going to move in and put in the llamas, which are going to be over here. It'll be another walk-through habitat. It'll be a barnyard petting zoo style habitat. Llamas are the only typical petting zoo animal that we have in the game right now. So they will be going in, getting our research going. I've unlocked the first level of every theme. So no longer constrained by not having scenery, construction items unlocked. So working on getting the food shops unlocked here. Not going to research habitats. We'll get power research next. So that is coming along. Got our vet research going. Researching up our new exhibit animals. Got the diamondback terrapin researching now. Everything else is, except for the centipede, is unlocked to the gold level. When we're not researching habitat animals and exhibit animals, we're researching our diseases. I want to get all of those unlocked because we still have our peafowl over here, our disease-ridden peafowl. No other habitat animals get sick. So far, the flamingos haven't been sick, the tortoises haven't been sick. It's only the damn peacocks. Peafowl. Only the males are peacocks. The females are peahens. As a group, they are peafowl. It's only the peafowl that gets sick. And when they get sick, they all get sick. So, yeah. I'm these birds are just driving me up the wall, but that's alright. I'll figure out what to do with them. I think, let me look here, I believe our breeding male, the one that we didn't have on contraceptives, I think he died of old age. Yeah, he died of old age, so we have no more breeding going on with the peafowl right now. I have a couple of options. One is to just not breed them anymore and let them, die out of old age and replace them with something else for food court. Could grab an unrelated female off the marketplace. Got a couple here who are a couple good gold rated males. If I wanted to continue breeding them, could also grab a new male off the workshop and let him have at all the females. I'm kind of done with the peafowl at this point. In contrast, the flamingos have been a wonderful addition to this zoo. They are just nice, well-behaved. They've only escaped a couple of times. They don't get sick. They're happy with their habitat. Okay, they could use a little bit more swimming area. I think they're fine. They're a huge draw for the guests, I believe. Who's our top-rated animal so far? Okay, so the tortoises are now the top-rated. The flamingos were our biggest draw until we put the tortoises in. They're very nice birds. I like the flamingos. I like the flamingos a lot. I don't like the peafowl. But moving here into the children's zoo, kind of gussied up the sign a little bit. I'm going to take another crack at this sign completely. It's just not doing it. Started to put in some custom fencing here, just to edge out the paths a little bit. This is just made out of the East Asia wheel spar and then the Planet Zoo plank, which is painted up to match. Nice, simple little kind of, kind of farmyard style fencing. We'll go ahead and edge out the whole path with that, and then that'll also be the fencing that we're going to use down toward the llama habitat when we get that built in. Got this all planted up here. I love a ton of really lush, beautiful planting. Want it to look like this has been here for a long time. These grounds are really grown up. Lots of mature trees. Then we have some more themed planting to go with the habitats that we have nearby. Oh, one of the peafowls is about to die. Awesome. So this is our tropical Africa little planting area that matches the Aldabra tortoises. Oh my gosh, we have a lot of babies. We have a lot of baby tortoises. Okay, you two have the same name. Great. Awesome. Well, we have a ton of them. I'm going to go ahead and just put her on contraceptives. That way we don't end up totally overcrowded in here. They're all going to mature at once. And we'll die. Alright, let's call a vet to pick up the peafowl. Eventually, once the children's zoo gets more built out into this area, we're going to have a little food court in this section here. So these two bear shops will be moving to back here. It may not be those exact shops. I think I'm going to put in probably pizza and ice cream and then maybe a coffee shop for the parents. In this section over here is going to be a little playground. And then up here in this area is going to be the carousel. What's going to happen is we're going to have another path that branches off here. It'll be a main artery path that goes up into the Life in the Desert section, which will be right up here. So once the Children's Zoo is completed, I'm either going to start on Life in the Desert or Life in the Plains. So desert is going to feature animals. It's like our African elephants, the gemsbok, the cheetah, kangaroo, and the dingo. Whereas Life in the Plains, which will be in here, is going to feature more of a traditional African habitat, have the mixed herbivore, so giraffe, zebra, ostrich. Also going to have a mixed American bison and pronghorn exhibit in this area up here. Going to have our lions, our wild dogs over here. Going to put in a gondola station right here in the middle, which is going to take guests up to the top of the zoo, which will be the Life in the Cold area. I'm going to do a bit of terraforming on this map. This lower part here will be flat, but as you go around in the big loop that will be the main pathway around the zoo, the back section is going to be raised up a little bit for the Life in the Forest, Life in the Cold area. That way when you're up here, you'll be able to see back down to the lower part of the zoo, and when you're in the lower part of the zoo, you'll be able to see some of the building for the rear portion. Kind of gives a visual draw to kind of encourage people to come back there a little bit more. So that is what we are looking at for finishing up the Children's Zoo area. I think there'll be 2, possibly 3 more episodes for that. Up next is going to be, like I said, the ring-tailed lemur habitat. Really, really looking forward to that. It's going to be loads of fun. From there, it'll be the llamas and the barnyard area with the implied petting zoo. And then finally, we'll finish up with the food court and then the koala habitat, which is going to be quite fun. I have a very good idea for that. It's going to be a raised boardwalk that goes around the outside of the habitat, comes through the interior, the little interior building for them, so the koalas will have access to indoors and outdoors. It's going to be loads of fun. I do hope you will join me for that. And I do hope you enjoyed this episode of Wildlife Trek. Our franchise is actually doing amazing right now. Have about 273,000 in the bank. Need a little bit more conservation credits, but that's all right. Yeah, this has been a load of fun, and it's turned into something that I'm really enjoy building out. So if you enjoyed this, please feel free to give it a like. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more content from me, and drop a comment below if you have any thoughts, suggestions, anything like that, any questions. If you see something that I've built that you'd like to see on the workshop, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to upload it. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day.